everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Riley K. Jones. I'm a writer, teacher, and author tuber, and today we're going to talk about active voice versus passive voice and what are those and should you use those in your writing. So first off, what is active voice versus passive voice? Active voice is the tense that you are writing in, and it's when your subject of your sentence is doing the action that you're stating. So Jane threw the ball. Jane is our subject, she's doing that action. Passive voice is when the subject is removed from the sentence and the object is receiving an action. So the ball was thrown. Ball is your subject, but ball's not doing the throwing. Who threw the ball? The ball was thrown by Jane. A lot of times you will see passive voice being used with a was helping verb with an action, past tense action verb. So the ball was thrown, or you could say the ball is thrown. It has like a helping verb with a action verb put together, and then typically you can insert a by someone or a by something, and that's going to give you who's doing the actual action in that. So a big thing that I tell my students when you're trying to figure out, are you using passive voice in the sentence, is there a by plus a noun or pronoun in that sentence? So the ball was thrown by her, the ball was thrown by Jane. That's a big indicator that you're using passive voice. But you can also leave those by prepositional phrases completely out of your sentence. So the ball was thrown, period. Well, who was it thrown by? So a lot of times what I like to tell my students is, see if you can insert by zombies, because it's just kind of funny and silly, after that verb. Does that make sense? So the ball was thrown by zombies. That kind of makes sense, and we know that the zombies are actually doing the action of throwing the ball. That is how you can determine, are you using active voice versus passive voice, and how to identify that. How would you fix that if you come across in your writing that you have passive voice, that the ball was thrown across the room? Who's doing the throwing? By zombies, by Jane. Then all you need to do is take the object of the preposition and make that the subject of your sentence. Jill threw the ball. You remove that was helping verb and just have the past tense, or Jill throws the ball, whatever tense you're writing in, past or present tense, then that person now is doing the action. Now, should you have passive voice in your fictional writing? Should you use it? It's a great question. I actually had this interaction with someone in our writers group years back who accused me of using it, and I understand she was trying to be helpful to see notes, and she said that you should never, ever, ever use passive voice in your writing. Well, friends, that is incorrect. You can use passive voice, however, it will take the readers out of your story if you use it too much. The key here is you can use it as like a little sprinkle of passive voice to get a point across. You don't want every single sentence, and you don't even need every single paragraph to have a lot of passive voice. It does draw your readers out from the action and kind of puts them in the backseat. That's kind of like what passive is. Passive is just like whatever. It's relaxing, lazy. It's not doing anything. It's that sense of lazy. It's just sitting there. Where active is driving, pushing forward, moving. Like that's what you want for your pacing, is you need action to drive the reader with you. So that's why passive voice can be used on occasion but should not be used all the time. You could use passive voice to also kind of have some anonymity or mystery behind something that you don't want to reveal yet. So maybe walking into a room and it's everything's shattered, everything's broken, and your character is trying to figure out what's going on, who's there, what's happening, and you say the ball was thrown across the room, but you don't know who it is. That's a great aspect of like putting some suspense where suspense is needed. But passive voice works well with suspense, but you have to only pull out that passive voice when you can use it. If you had your book written all in passive voice, it's not gonna work. Another thing to like put as like a little side note, like little asterisks here, that having a was or is helping verb attached to a action verb does not always mean that you have passive voice. She was running across the room. Who's doing the running? She is. She's using action. So that is a little disclaimer of like that type of thing. She wasn't running by the zombies. Like the zombies aren't picking her up and making her run. She's doing the action, or Jill's doing, whoever is your subject is doing the action. So just keep that in mind. That was one thing that one writer friend was trying to accuse me of using passive voice because I had a was running or was jumping or something like that. But that's because I was writing in past tense and it was like a past continuing tense that I was demonstrating. But anyway, so for passive voice, you don't want to use it all the time. It's like a little seasoning, a little sprinkle in there just to give it a little more suspense or build up. You can use it in ways to create those things, but it should not be 95% of your novel, maybe even 99% of your novel. It should just be kind of sprinkled in there on occasion to do specific things, not to have lazy writing. So if this is your first draft, if you're writing a first draft, please don't take my advice and like make that be like, oh no, I'm writing in passive voice. Am I writing passive voice? I can't draft because I keep thinking about passive voice. One, take a breath, stop, take a breath, breathe. It's okay. That can come in with editing. When you just write your main manuscript and then when you go back to editing, you can see, are you using passive voice here? Can you make it action? Does it drive the story a little bit more when you switch it to action? Is it good? Is it better? That is up for you to feel out and test the waters with, and also get some beta readers. Even if it's just reading a paragraph and seeing like, does the passive voice work here, or is it slowing the pace down? Is it ruining that? Those types of questions are gonna help you in your drafting process, but again, don't let that mentality cripple you from writing your manuscript. And speaking of, I should probably get back to writing my manuscript. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up. It lets me know that you like videos like this one. And if you haven't already, click subscribe. I release all new videos on all things writing and reading every Thursday. Thanks again for watching. Keep writing, keep reading, and stay creative.